because English has so many different names, right? I hear names all the time that I've never heard before in my entire life. The thing that really matters is whether that name seems to fit the person, or especially if someone is choosing a new name, or if it has any connotations that might be negative. So if you're choosing an English name for yourself, or if you just had a baby and you're choosing an English name for your baby, the best thing to do is do research based on context. In other words, if you choose the name Bertha for yourself and you're a girl, or you have a daughter and you say, I'm going to name my daughter Bertha, you have to know that that name comes with a lot of social baggage that you probably don't want. When people hear the name Bertha, they think of an old, very overweight woman. That's what I think of as soon as I hear that name. Okay? But the only way to know that is to know sort of the social consensus. So if you want to ask me any questions about this, I'm happy to give feedback, because this is kind of tough. It's kind of complicated. There are names that have a certain feeling. This is called connotation. Now, sometimes these connotations are not necessarily good or bad. They may just be generational. For example, the name Caroline or Carolyn. This is kind of an older name. This is a name that might fit someone in my parents' generation or even my grandparents' generation, right? Martha. Actually, my grandmother's name was Martha. It's kind of an older name. And so meeting someone named Martha might be okay, someone my age, but it's just very rare. And it's rare because names go in and out of popularity, right? A lot of people in my grade when I was in school were named Morgan. I guess they're still named Morgan, right? Just not at school anymore. But I don't think that Morgan is as popular as it used to be, right? These things go in and out of popularity. So generations have their own popular names and less popular names. That is one factor. Then there are the connotations where people associate certain things with certain names. I will always have to live with the fact that my name is Luke, and when people meet me, they go, I am your father, right? Because of Star Wars, because of Luke Skywalker. I live with that. Now, I'm okay with it because I like Luke Skywalker. I think Luke Skywalker is cool, so I'm fine with it. But my parents had to realize that when they named me Luke. They had to think about that and decide if that was a good thing or not. I wasn't named after Luke Skywalker, but that's kind of the idea. All right, so that's another factor. Now, there are personal things. There are people I know who have certain names, and I don't like those people. And so when I meet other people who have the same name, I think, ugh, that maybe is not a consideration, right? Because that's an individual thing. But at least consider the generational differences, at least consider the connotations, and pick something that you feel fits you. I would not recommend necessarily choosing something only because of the meaning of the name. Never have I been asked by anyone outside of China what my name means, because nobody cares. Doesn't matter. It means bringer of light. That's what Luke means, but nobody cares. Okay, so that's what you should think about when you're choosing an English name, at least.